Hello. Hi guys, thanks for joining. I'm just making some sublimation cups today. Hi, how are you? It's got kind of a glittery looking design, so we're gonna see what that looks like pressed on a tumbler. I have a craft fair coming up, so I'm trying to get some sublimation tumblers done to take with me. I pretty much just sell blanks, so I have not a lot of things here to take with me at the moment. So I'm just trying to kind of pick out some fun designs that I think will be popular. And if you guys have any questions at all about sublimation, I'm happy to answer. I've been doing sublimation for a couple years now. It's a fun craft to get into. Not super expensive to start up either. This one says Mom Life. And these are all printed mirrored. Since the camera's mirrored, that's why they look like they're not mirrored, but you always need to mirror your sublimation prints. So I'm just gonna probably do about 10 tumblers, which I could probably get done in about an hour. And that's the nice thing about sublimation and using a tumbler press, because you can fly through making tumblers and you don't have to spend a lot of time taping. I just use about 5 pieces of tape per tumbler. But how are you guys doing today? What's going on? It is 4 o'clock here on a Friday. This one's cute. This one's pink Christmas trees. Who's into pink Christmas? I love it. Jennifer's good. I'm doing good too. I have all my orders out this morning and thought maybe I could just relax, and then I thought, no, I better get a head start on this craft fair I have coming up. So I'm gonna pump out a couple of cups. And a couple of them I'm excited to do because I know a lot of you guys who follow me know that I also use Hyperion, which is an epoxy-free top coat. And so some of these tumblers I'm making are going to be, I'm going to coat them and glitter them with Hyperion. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. I get to do sublimation and I get to do Hyperion. So I've got this one, Merry Christmas, with the leopard print, gingerbread. That one's really cute. And then this one too. And I'm gonna do this one on one of my white glitter tumblers. If you guys haven't seen those ones, they're super pretty. They're really just perfect for any Christmas design. So let me get some wrapped up so we can start pressing. And this is the press that I have available on my website as well. So if you guys are in the market for a tumbler press, this one is awesome. I'll show you how I use it. And you can do, it's marketed up for 30 ounce cups, but I did a 40 ounce like big thick tumbler in it last week, and you can adjust the size on the back here. The 40 ounce wouldn't actually shut in the press, but I just held it like this and it pressed perfectly. I don't have it, I gave it away, but I would show you guys. But it's awesome. You can do pretty much any size tumbler in this press. All right. So I'm gonna put this cutter away for a second. What's the weather like where you guys are at? I'm in Arizona, I'm in Mesa. It's 64 degrees here, which is warmer than it was yesterday. Okay, we're gonna start off with this one. I like to use A-sub paper for all my tumblers, for pretty much everything. I use the 105G for tumblers specifically though, because it's a little bit of a thinner sublimation paper, and I just feel like it wraps around the tumbler a little bit tighter with less creasing, so I suggest the 105G for tumblers. Cold, we're watching from Colorado. My husband is in his hometown right now, just south of Colorado in New Mexico, and he drove through Flagstaff, Arizona to get there, and there's snow on the ground, which is not my thing. Raining in NorCal, woohoo. Prescott, is there snow in Prescott? Heavy thunderstorms, feels like 70. 70 is not too bad. Okay. This press is one that, it's on my website, my link's in my bio, and you can get it in 5 different colors. So I have the pink one, pink's my favorite color, but there's teal, black, purple, white, and the pink. And it's an awesome press. It heats up super fast. I have mine at 370 degrees, and I just turned it on like 3 minutes ago, and it's at 368 degrees already. I'm in Idaho, and it snowed all night till about noon today, now raining. Oh, so I grew up in Nebraska, and the only reason that I live here in Arizona now is because there's snow up north, but in Mesa there's no snow. So that's the only reason I actually picked up and moved here, and I don't regret it one bit. Okay, I was gonna show you this one. So this is the white glitter sublimation tumbler, and it's super pretty. It's a white tumbler, and it has like, it's actually kind of silver glitter on it, but it still looks white when you press it. And I also do have a silver glitter tumbler, which I can show you. And all these tumblers I sell on my website as well. All these tumblers I'm using, I sell sublimation blanks. I've got all kinds of tumblers, all kinds of flat blanks as well. So this is the silver glitter tumbler, and then this is the white glitter, so you can kind of see the difference. So depending on what design you're doing, if you have white in your design, which this one does, I'm gonna do the white glitter one, but I will show you, I think I'll do the pink Christmas tree one. This one in the silver glitter, so you guys can see the difference. And what part of Nebraska? So I grew up in La Vista, which is outside of Omaha, basically Omaha. And then I lived in Norfolk for a couple years. My grandparents lived in Battle Creek. And then as soon as I graduated college, I moved out here to Arizona. But in Seward, my first roommate in college in Norfolk was from Seward. That's funny. And do I overlap my paper at the seams? Very little. If I have too much overlap, then I will actually trim it off, because you can have issues with your seam not transferring all the way. Bellevue, Nebraska, we might get snow tonight. So I was in Nebraska last weekend for the Husker game. It was my first time going back in like 5 years for a game. I've been back several times since, but disappointing for the game, but it was fun to tailgate. Lived in La Vista for 15 years, and then we moved to Bellevue. Okay, cool. Yeah, I love being up from Nebraska, but I don't like living there. I don't like being cold. How long do you press them for, and do you turn them? Yes, so I press them for a total of 90 seconds to start with, and I turn 3 times. So I'll show you guys. Actually, my press is about heated up, so I'll show you guys in a second. So I rotate it 3 times every 30 seconds, and then if needed, I will pop the ends back in, because the hottest part of the tumbler press is right in the middle. You're not always going to have the heat on the ends, so if you have especially like a darker design around the ends, then it's not going to show up as well, and it just needs a little bit more time in the press. And all of these tumblers, like I said, they're all on my website. They're all pretty much about the same size, so I just printed all these transfers out at 8.2 inches height by 9.3 inches wide, and that always seems to work well for me. If I ever need to just trim some off of the seam, I sure can. And you can kind of see where the seam lines up. There's not too much overlap. There's just a very little bit, which is fine. You need some, or else you can risk your paper pulling apart while you're pressing it, and then you're gonna have just a white space where the seam is. And the paper I use is A-Sub. I get it on Amazon. I'm using 105G for tumblers, and I use 120G for everything else. And the press Savannah that I have, it's one that I sell on my website. You can find my link in my profile for it, but they're awesome presses. I'm going to show you how I use it. But oh, touch and kiss the seam seems to work best. With the press, it makes it a lot easier, because your pressure is going to come from the press, so you don't have to worry about taping as much, which when I used to use the oven, that seemed to be the issue, was getting that tape perfectly. So I've already sized this to work for the 20-ounce tumblers. There is a knob here in the back where I can make it bigger or smaller. You can do sippy cups, which are a lot smaller. I said earlier I did a 40-ounce like big thick tumbler. It wouldn't fully close in my press, but I just kind of held the pressure down for the 30 seconds and rotating, and it still came out perfect. So you can do almost any size tumbler in this thing. And I have mine set for 370 degrees, and actually that's a good point. So if you have a press, I would definitely recommend getting one of these temperature guns, because they are usually pretty accurate, but sometimes they can be off by 5 or 10 degrees. So it's always good to just calibrate it and make sure that the temperature that you see inside is matching up with the dial. And if not, just adjust it to what your temperature gun is reading. So, and even if you do it right when you get out of the box, every few weeks, just check it again just to make sure it hasn't fallen out of calibration. So I'm going to press my first one, and I use my seam as my guide. So I'm going to have it kind of pointing up towards the top back first, and then I'll just let it close. It has a timer running on it for 30 seconds. You can adjust your time as needed. And then after 30 seconds, I'll rotate it. 30 more seconds, I'll rotate it again. and then it'll be done. And this press is on my website. All these tumblers I'm using are also on my website. I usually ship same day or next day, depending on when you get your orders in. Okay, so now I'm gonna rotate it, and I'm gonna have my seam kind of over in this bottom corner now. And then I'll go ahead and close it again. Sawgrass is the machine I have to print sublimations, but you can use Canva. Yes, Sawgrass is a good printer. I have an EcoTank, but whatever works for you is perfect. I don't use Canva. I know a lot of people do. I do a lot of my designs on, if I'm not already buying them, I like to buy them from Etsy a lot of times, which I believe most of these are from Etsy. Okay, I'm gonna rotate it for the third time, and I'm gonna have the seam still inside of the press, but almost towards the top. I have an iPad. I like to design in Procreate. I like to use Inkscape on my computer, and then I always print through Microsoft Publisher, and that's just what I prefer to do. The temp, I have it set at 370. Yeah, 370 degrees, 370 degrees. And a lot of sublimation is just kind of finding your own sweet spot. All right, let me get this one. Okay, so that'll be 3 rotations. And then again, another nice thing about having a press is that you can actually peek under the tape and see how your design looks, and if you're not happy with it, then you can just stick the ends back in and save your tumbler. So you can peek. All right, so here you can see the design. This was that one that kind of looked like glitter, and so to me it looks good. I just kind of peek along the top. And all right, so that looks good. So you can see the rim is totally transferred around. And so I'm gonna check the bottom, and if the bottom looks good, then this one will be done. So first peek looks good. I'm just gonna kind of look around on the rest of the edges. Let me check comments here real quick. Okay, the press is from my website. You can see the link, you know where. And yeah, Silhouette's a good one too, but I don't like to print from Silhouette all the time because every once in a while it feels like they don't print the same size or same dimensions that I put in, and I don't really know why that is. The press is $275. And it is free shipping. And again, you can find it on my website. Okay, put another glove on real quick. And this is the 20-ounce glossy tumbler that I carry in my store online. And you can see it transferred perfectly. What's wrong? Yes, so these tumblers over here, they're glitter tumblers. And I don't use epoxy. I use a product called Hyperion, which is an epoxy alternative. And if you scroll my TikTok, you'll see a lot of videos where I'm using Hyperion as well. It's super, super shiny, super durable. And there are times where I'm using it over top of sublimation, only because I want to add glitter. If you're doing a sublimation tumbler, you do not need to add anything to it. It is good to go as soon as it's cooled down out of the press. But if you want to add glitter or anything to it, then I use Hyperion, and you guys can ask me any questions about Hyperion as well. These ones actually just started yesterday and coated them today, so this has just got a couple coats on it already, but it's already getting super smooth. Let's see, If you watched my live that I did yesterday, I did some Hyperion tumblers. This is one of them that I made on my live yesterday, and it's already ready to be sanded for the first time, and then I can already add a decal, and I just started it yesterday. So that's what I love about Hyperion. It's water-based, non-toxic, and it's super quick to use. All right, so let's get our next one in. We're gonna do the white glitter tumbler that has the Christmas design on it. And same thing, even though it's a different style of tumbler, still presses the same. Let me see if there's any comments I've missed. Yeah, Hyperion is similar. It's somewhat new, but it's awesome. I started using it in May, and just caught on right away. It looks like this in the jug. And I just keep it in a condiment bottle near my turners. I use a brush to apply it, and then just keep my brush in water by the turners. And every 2 hours I can recoat it. So again, I can just get a lot of tumblers done in just a couple days. I'm pressing this for 30-second rotations for 90 seconds. So I do 3 total rotations in the press. And then if the ends aren't perfect, then I will just stick the ends back in and repress them until they look good. These might press my sub tumblers no matter what ghost at the bottom. Just let me get this turned. Have you tried putting the ends back in and just repressing those? Because the hottest part of your press is right here in the middle. On the ends, it doesn't get as hot. So if your ends aren't looking perfect, you can just stick the ends back in, which I'll probably show you with this one I'm doing. And then you can just repress the ends without doing the whole tumbler. And yes, this is a 20-30 ounce press, and I actually just did a 40 ounce tumbler in it as well. So it's doable for pretty much any size tumbler. You can also do smaller ones like sippy cups. You can do glass tumblers. I actually just did a snow globe. I have to put glitter in it. All right, so we will check this one. I've started doing the ends and repressing. Yeah, repressing the ends totally makes a big difference. And here's how you know if the ends aren't good. So I just will pull back the tape on the top and bottom and just peek under the paper. And if the ends don't look good to me, like if they look like they're still kind of white, then I'll stick them back in. And I just kind of keep pulling the paper back to check, because I'm kind of a stickler about, I want the rims to look super neat and clean. So to me, that all looks good. It is a lighter design. Lighter designs don't always need to have the ends repressed. And we'll check the bottom. So far it looks good. And okay. And again, it's a lighter design, so it doesn't need any extra time on the rims. But this is that white glitter tumbler, and it looks super sparkly. I love this one. What do you guys think? You can see the seam right here. Yeah, you can see the seam, but there's not any ghosting or anything that you want to say. It's pretty nice and clean. But these white glitter tumblers are fun to do, especially for Christmas. All right, let me see. If I'm missing your guys' comments, just comment again. I know a lot of you guys are commenting, which is awesome. Thank you. Love it. Yes, thank you. So yeah, if you want to order any sublimation blanks, I have a whole sublimation blank store online. bettercallmallcreations.com. There's a link in my bio, if I'm allowed to say that. And I'm like, we're a family business, so I'm here, I'm shipping your items, I'm packing them up, I'm your customer service, all that stuff. All right, let me check comments. Ship to where? Right now I basically ship to the United States. If you're in Canada, I'll ship to Canada, but you'll just have to message me either through my website. Someone has to see the bottom. That's the bottom of it. Yeah, if you're in Canada, I'll ship there. If you're in other parts of the country, I'll possibly ship there. I'm just not that familiar with international shipping to be confident in doing it. I'm located in Mesa, Arizona, and if anyone is local here, then you can also pick up your orders as well. My press, so my press I saw on my website, it's $275, which includes shipping, and you can get it in I believe 5 different colors, and it's an awesome press. It's half the price of a lot of those more expensive ones out there, and I like it better, honestly. Okay, so final turn. And you can really just bust out a lot of cups super quick with it. Okay. A glossy one. What cups fit in it? You can do sippy cups, which are about 10 ounces. You can do the ceramic mugs, glass tumblers, all the way up to, it's marketed for 30 ounces, but I just pressed a 40-ounce tumbler in it with no issues. It won't fully close around a 40-ounce tumbler, but I just held it closed, so I was still giving it pressure, and it still came out perfect. Let me just see if I'm missing any comments. Explain Hyperion. Is it a 50-50 mixture? So Hyperion is not, sorry, let me take a drink. Hyperion already comes ready to use. It's going to be in a jug like this. They have different sizes. This is the biggest one they offer. But you basically just put it on your cup and let it turn. And every 2 hours you can recoat it. It's non-toxic. You can use it around your family, your pets. I'm inside of my house off my living room right here, and I've got 2 little kids. So this is the silver glitter one. So far the rims look good on top. Okay, so here's the top rim. This is the pink Christmas one. I love this design. So we will check the bottom. Let me check comments real quick. Is it more expensive? I haven't bought epoxy for almost 4 years. And the epoxy I used to use, actually, I don't think is even sold anymore. So I cannot comment on that, but to me, it's worth it to be able to craft around my kids and my family, and just to be able to get cups done in just a couple days versus a couple weeks with a different water-based product I was using is huge. Time is money. Okay, so here's the pink Christmas tree one, and this is on the silver glitter tumbler, and I have these silver glitter tumblers on my website as well. What do you guys think about this one? And yes, if you buy the press, I'm always happy to help you use it. There's nothing you can buy on my website that I haven't tested or I can't help you out with. So definitely, if you have questions about anything you purchase from me, you can always let me know. I want it, Molly. The Christmas tumbler, Annie? All right, let's stick this one in. As far as the warranty on the press, if you have any issues with them at all, most likely we would just replace it or do troubleshooting. So far I haven't had anyone have issues with their press. I've used this one quite a bit and haven't had any issues, but yeah, if there's any problems you have at all with it, you could just always contact me and we'll get you taken care of. And yes, you can use sublimation with Hyperion. You do need to either sand the tumbler first, which it's not going to ruin the design. It's going to make it look a little scratched up, but the Hyperion will completely smoothen all those scratches. And then you can continue with doing if you're doing glitter or whatever over top of it. Or you can use this product called Zinsser Shellac. And it's a clear shellac, and you can spray that 3 times over your tumbler, and then you can use Hyperion as well, because that'll create the bond needed for the Hyperion to adhere to the tumbler. Okay, last press on this one. And type of printer, so you need a printer that will work with sublimation ink. So I have 2 EcoTank printers. Sawgrass is also a popular sublimation printer. And the tape I use, this is also it's a heat tape. It's specially designed for working with high heat temperatures. I need to move this, I guess. And this tape will not leave yellow marks on your tumblers or cups or anything like you'll see some tapes do. The ones that will leave marks, they're not rated for the amount of heat that we use with sublimation. Okay. Yeah, you can use your Epson EcoTank. You just make sure you don't put the ink that comes with the printer in it. You need to use sublimation ink. And the ink I use, and I've only ever tried this one because I've always liked it, is Printer's Jack, and I get it on Amazon. Okay, so we can check this one out. Okay, so this is one I'll put the ends back in. It's maybe hard to tell on the camera, but the middle of that sunflower is darker and it's still a little bit lighter. So I'm gonna just put the paper back down and stick the end back in because I want that ink to fully transfer. And I'm only putting the end back in. Here's the middle of the press, and I'm kind of over to the side of it. Doesn't need to go all the way to the middle. Okay, so it's been in there for about 20 seconds. I'm just gonna do a full rotation and let it go again. And if you guys have any questions or want to know where to get the press or any of these blanks, so they're all on my website. The dimensions for my prints, I do, for the 20 ounce, these I printed at 8.2 inches high by 9.3 inches wide. And I'm doing 370 degrees for the temperature. And I'm doing rotations every 30 seconds. I do 3 rotations. Okay, so this one looks good. Let me show you guys. So this part of the sunflower, I was worried about it still kind of being white, but now it looks good. So I'm just gonna pull the paper back around, and the rest of the bottom looks good. So let's check the top. And so far, it looks perfect. So I'll go ahead and take the paper off the rest of it. Alright, so this one is Mom Life. And here's the seam. What do you guys think about this one? Do you like it? I overlap the seam just a little bit. I don't do too much. If you overlap it too much, you're gonna struggle with your ink from the top layer transferring down to the bottom or through the bottom, which on some designs that won't matter, but on some you'll notice the overlap. And other times, you just might not get your seam pressed as perfectly. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. My press, this is a press I have available on my website, bettercallmallcreations.com. There's a link in my profile if you want to go check out my website. But I've been using this press for a while. I love it. I would never use something or advertise something on my website that I haven't used or tested or loved. So anything that you see on my website, I've tried it all. I know the quality is really good. And you guys can always reach out to me if you have any questions at all. And then again, if you watch any of my TikTok videos, I do a lot with Hyperion, which is it's an epoxy free tumbler coat, and I'm an open book about helping people use that if you don't want to use epoxy. And then some of these designs I'm doing, I'm actually going to do Hyperion over top of the sublimation. So this is an example of one where it's red here. I'm going to put red glitter and then probably do some vinyl around it and turn it into a coated tumbler with Hyperion. Okay, so this one is done. Let's check it out. So we're just gonna peek under the paper first. And here is the peeking. I'll just keep looking around the rim. And so that one, whoop, it's getting hot. That one looks good. So we'll check the bottom. And okay, so I'm gonna put the bottom back in. The bottom is thicker because it's got this metal to go through too, so the bottom doesn't always transfer as good as the top. But it's just a little lighter right there where I'd like it to be, so I'm just gonna put it back in the press for probably another 20-30 seconds. And then hopefully that bottom comes out good. Yeah, so the middle is, if the top and bottom look good, the middle is definitely perfect because the hottest part of your press is the middle. So if you just need a little extra pressing on the ends, your middle is going to be perfect. The dimensions, all of these are 20-ounce tumblers, and I printed them out at 8.2 inches high by 9.3 inches wide. And all of these blanks that I'm using, they're all available on my website. You can find the link in my profile. All right. So we'll check the bottom. So now that looks good to me. A lot of these images I'm using right now, I have purchased mostly from Etsy. Some of them, I believe I had purchased a tumbler drive, and so they were on there. And I do have some that I've designed myself, but I don't think any of the ones I'm doing right now I have. But here's this one. It says Merry Christmas. And here's the seam right here. What do you guys think about this one? And all of these tumblers are being done with sublimation. Looks good, I love it. The sizes that I'm printing these out at are 8.2 inches high by 9.3 inches wide. And all of these blanks are available on my website. I have, I believe, over 100 different types of sublimation tumblers and blanks. I test them all personally before I list them. And I have pretty good fast shipping, I should say. I ship every day, except for Sundays. Oven versus press. So I started with an oven just because it was more cost effective, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna get into sublimation or not. But I quickly got a press because there's just so much more taping involved with using an oven. With the press creates all the pressure for you, but with an oven you have to create the pressure. So that means lots of masking tape, or some people use shrink wrap. But for me, it would take like 8 to 10 minutes just to wrap a tumbler, just to tape it up. And so it was just taking a long time in the oven. And then plus, I was cooking them in the oven for 6 minutes at a time. The press is just a lot faster. Excuse me. They look great. Do I just... Yes, so I do have my printer settings adjusted for sublimation. If you were to just print your sublimation designs on the standard printer settings, they're not going to turn out the way you want. You need to have the high quality and the fast printing turned off. And if anyone cares to know what printer settings I use, I can always let you know that too. And yes, I'm using A-sub paper. The one with the green words on the back is the 105G, and it's the lightest of the papers. And I like using it for tumblers because they just seem to wrap around the tumbler a lot tighter than the bigger papers. I also use 120G, and I use that for like my flat blanks, like phone cases, keychains, mouse pads, things like that. Let me just check real quick. All right. Okay, so let's press a couple more of these. This one I thought was fun. It's a guitar. I'm going to do it on a matte tumbler so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay. So this is a matte tumbler. You can see it still has a little bit of a sheen, but it's not glossy by any means compared to a glossy one, which I'll show you guys as well. Okay, so you can see the difference. The matte's really popular for, I guess, more like manly designs. And then you can see the glossy has that big sheen to it. That's okay. So the paper I'm using is A-sub. I get it on Amazon. And I use 105G for tumblers because it's a thinner paper, so it just wraps around the tumblers a little bit better. But I use 120G for all of my flat sublimation blanks, so like mouse pads, keychains, phone cases, anything that I would use my heat press for. And the nice thing about using the press is, again, you just have to use, I use 5 pieces of tape across the seam, and then it's just ready to go in right away. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about sublimation, just let me know. If you need any blanks, everything that I'm using here, plus a lot more, I have on my website. And I also have this press available on my website as well. It's a special heat tape that I'm using. Again, this is also on my website. Everything that I like to use, I put on there because I want you guys to use them too. I've tried them, I've tested them. And what width do I set my wraps to? So all these I sized at 9.3 inches around. And I'll show you this too. Let me turn this real quick. This is awesome. This is a tumbler tape measure. You can read it in inches and centimeters. But if you're questioning how wide you should make your wraps, this is awesome. So it'll tell you exactly where you need to put it. And you just count the marks. There's 16 marks. So count to whichever one it is, divided by 16, and you have your decimal. But this is super helpful. With the 20 ounces, they're all pretty much similar sizes, but when you get into different size tumblers, 30 ounces, the thick ones, even the glow in the dark ones are a little bit thicker. This thing is super helpful, and you can also get this on my website. It's called a tumbler tape measure, and the link to my website is in my bio. Okay, this one is done. Just gonna check the ends real quick. And then if anyone is shopping on my website, you can use the code TikTok10 and you can save $10% off of any sublimation blanks order that you are making on there. Okay, let me grab my other glove. Peak test. Okay, so this isn't perfect to me. It still looks a little bit white around the edges or just lighter in color. So I'm gonna repress the bottom for sure, and then we'll check the top after that. And this is one of the best parts about using a press, is that you're able to check the ends without just blindly hoping that your tumbler comes out good like it does in the oven. Okay, and if you guys have any questions about sublimation at all, keep asking them. And also for future lives, if you want me to press anything else, I've just done the 20-ounce tumblers in my last couple ones, but I could do some bigger tumblers, or I can also just do some of the flat blanks that I have, like keychains, mouse pads, phone cases, those kind of things. I do have a couple videos on my TikTok where you can see, I think I've made the cosmetic bags, the coasters. Okay, so that looks a lot better to me. So I'm just gonna tear the tape or the paper across and see how it looks. Okay, so the bottom looks good. I'll check the top and then we can take the paper off. Yeah, I can definitely show doing bigger tumblers. I can do that for my next one. I print all these images myself. I have an Epson Eco Tank. I have the 15,000, which is wide format, and then I also have a smaller one, and I do use both. To get started, you're gonna want to get a printer, which is about $200 for the smaller ones, and you need paper and ink and blanks. So really just a few $100s and you can get started in sublimation. Okay, so peeking at the rim on this one, you can totally see where it's white still, so we'll definitely be repressing it, this end. Let me see what other questions. Whoops. What temperature? My press is on 370 degrees and I'm doing 30 seconds, 30-second rotations 3 times, so 90 seconds for a tumbler. Let's see. Care instructions. Basically just hand wash them. You can let them accidentally go through the dishwasher. I wouldn't recommend it. Just the heat of your dishwasher could fade the image in time. But it's not gonna ruin it probably the first time, so an accidental trip will be fine. All right, what else do we see? So I don't epoxy these. Well, I don't use epoxy at all. I use Hyperion, which is an epoxy-free alternative, and I can tell you guys more about that as well. But unless I'm going to be adding glitter to the tumblers, I don't add Hyperion at all. They're pressed and they're ready to go. Okay, so you can see already that's looking better. I'm probably gonna press it for like 10 or 15 more seconds though, just to see if I can't get that little bit. So if I bought everything, the machine and everything off of you. So the all my sublimation blanks can be 10% off with the code TikTok10. It won't apply to the machines, to the press or anything. But any blanks that you buy, you can use the code TikTok10 and save 10% on that part of the order. And the press is from my website. For baking in a convection oven, the biggest advice I can give you is just make sure you're taped super tight and make sure that your seam is tight too. Like I would take like a squeegee or like a credit card thing and like run it down the seam, pressing it into the tape to get it flush against the tumbler. Okay, so this is the matte one. I think that looks cool with the guitar design. This is the seam right here, which it hides it pretty well in the design. But what do you guys think about this one? I like these matte ones a lot. They're fun. We can do a quick recap real quick because I know a lot of you guys are new here, but these are some of the other ones I've already done. This is a glossy 20-ounce tumbler. This one is a white glitter tumbler. It does have like a little bit of a texture to it. It's smooth, it's not rough, but that's what gives it that glittery look, which I love. And for Christmas designs, I feel like the white glitter and the silver glitter, which is this one, are just awesome. So this is a silver glitter. All these blanks are on my website. This is a glossy tumbler. The Santa Claus design. Here's the seam on this one. It hides pretty well in the design as well. And if you guys want any of these tumblers that I'm showing you now, I'm making them for a craft fair, but I can keep making them. So if you guys see a finished tumbler that you like and you don't do sublimation, I'll sell any of these for $15. Just shoot me a message or go to my website and message me, or you can find me on Instagram, and I'll send you an invoice. But I could do any of these for $15, as long as you're watching here. But for the most part, I sell blanks, so I'm not really making a lot of custom tumblers or anything anymore. But I do like to at least show you guys what it looks like when they're being made, if you're interested in getting into sublimation, how the press works. So that's kind of what I want to do when I come on here, is just show you guys how to do it. Okay, so this is another one that I'm gonna do where I'm gonna add glitter and use Hyperion to coat it. So I did the striped yellow. I think I'm gonna do like a gold glitter. I think that'll look good. Should sell a starter pack plus some cups and a few printed images. That's a really good idea. I did start doing mystery boxes a couple months ago. I think I've done 2 now. And those have gone over really well. So I was actually just thinking a starter box would be kind of cool. I just need to kind of put it together and see what that would look like. But I think that's a great idea. I'll definitely be working on that. And yeah, I can definitely do some printed images. With my the mystery boxes I've done, I do include some printed images, so they are kind of cool for people who maybe have a heat press but have never, they don't have a sublimation printer per se, to be able to just try it out and see like, hey, do I like doing this, or it's not for me, without having to buy the equipment. Okay. Alright, so I can already see this one is too light at the top. I'm going to throw the end back in. How long do I put those in there? Because mine always come out. Oops. Come out door. So I put these in here for 30 seconds at a time, and I rotate 3 times, so 90 seconds total. And then if the image is a little bit like darker towards the ends, then I usually stick the ends back in and I'll repress them like I'm doing with this one, because I like the design to be perfect around the rims like this. And the time I'm using is 370 degrees and for 90 seconds. And I rotate every 30 seconds. Okay, so we'll check this one out. Oops. Okay. So that's looking better. But I do have one spot like right here that's still kind of white, so I'm just gonna try and get that spot real quick. And I ripped the paper, so I'm just gonna tape it over it. Okay. We'll just see if we can't get that little last piece of white out. Been trying to do red Christmas, but I get burn marks. So burn marks can be a couple different things. You could be using too high of a temperature, you could be pressing it for too long, or it could be too much pressure. So you kind of have to find your sweet spot to where it's coming out. Oops, I forgot this is just the end I'm putting back in. So yeah, trial and error is kind of the name of the game with sublimation. Okay, so let's see how we look. Okay, so there is the top rim. That looks good. And the bottom is still kind of light as well, so I am going to stick this one back in. You can see, especially right here, it still looks pretty light. And the darker designs, they just take a little bit extra time to transfer. And if you're using a heat press, the middle of the press is the hottest part of the press, so that's why the ends don't always turn out perfect. But if you get your ends good, then you know the middle is going to be good. And the press is from my website, bettercalmallcreations.com. I have a link in my profile to my website, and you can find it there. It's free shipping, and it's a pretty awesome press. I like it. The 20-ounce tumblers, but not the skinny ones. All tumblers are different, even the 20-ounce ones, depending on what vendors you're getting them from. They can all be different. So if you're looking for perfect dimensions, it's always best to just measure your tumbler. I have this available on my website as well. It's tumbler measuring tape, and it perfectly will measure the width of your tumbler. It's flexible, but it won't stretch, so you're gonna get your perfect dimensions with that. Okay, still a little bit light on here. You can see it right there, so I'm gonna repress this side again. And do I have trouble with the red color? Not really. This one has a lot of red in it, and you can see it's nice and vibrant with the red. If your red is turning orange, then you're probably burning your tumbler, or your print settings might not be correct. Okay, and sorry, I think a bunch of comments just came in, so I'm trying to get to them all. Tried a couple of tumblers, mine seem to ghost a lot. So ghosting, if you're talking about how like the design is lighter or white in some areas, this one still kind of is. I'm gonna let this go because I'm gonna glitter this one, so you're not gonna see that, but otherwise I would just keep pressing this end until it was done. But yeah, if you're getting ghosting, like there's white spots or lighter spots, then either your paper's not tight enough, you have air pockets underneath of it, or your paper could be wrinkled a little bit. It's my other glove. Or you're not pressing it for long enough or hot enough. There's a bunch of different variables that go into sublimation. Okay, so this is this one is a striped one, so I'm gonna be glittering the blank blue spots and then adding some vinyl detail to this one. And I use Hyperion. I don't use a epoxy, but I'll probably post some TikTok videos when I make these ones so you guys can see how they turn out. But just kind of an alternative to using vinyl, because you don't have to get your vinyl super straight. Let's see if I have one. Okay. So here's an example of one that I did. I did sublimation for the design, and then on those bands I did glitter. So I'm gonna do a couple more of those. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. All right, that's what my son says with my glitter. It's so pretty. Yeah, so I'm gonna glitter on some of these. So follow my TikTok. I'll put some videos up, some tutorial videos. But I use Hyperion. It looks like this. It's an epoxy-free alternative, but it's super shiny, super easy to use. It's non-toxic. I've got tumblers spinning back here that I've just put Hyperion on for the first time this morning, and they're already super shiny. This one's ready to be sanded. But it's a very durable top coat. And you guys can ask me any questions at all about Hyperion. I'm an open book about that too. My print settings, there's a whole slew of them that I use. So I actually have a screenshot of my print settings I don't know if you can message me through TikTok here, or you can find me on Instagram with my same name, Better Call Mall Creations. And I'm happy to share that screenshot with you. It would be a lot for me to run it down while I'm live here. Awesome, Tina, welcome, and I'm glad you found me too. I'm happy to help you out. And my gloves. I also have heat gloves available on my website. These ones are awesome, and they're universal, so they work on either side of your hand or either hand. Yeah, so you can use Hyperion over sublimation. You just need to sand your tumbler first. I use just lightly sand with 400 grit. You just need something for the Hyperion or whatever you're putting over it to grip onto. So if you don't want to sand your tumbler, you can also spray it 3 times with Zinsser Clear Shellac, and that will create the bond that Hyperion or epoxy or whatever you use can grip onto. Okay. Move this out of the way. Okay, let's peek at this one. I hope this one comes out good because I love this design. I think it's super cute. Okay. All right, so here's the bottom. And it looks pretty good to me. Kind of keep peeking around. And yeah, so the bottom's perfect. And this is, again, the nice thing about having a press is that you can actually do this. You can peek under your paper and see how the design looks, and you can just repress it if you need to. So the top I am gonna repress. It's hard to maybe tell on the camera, but it's lighter at the top. I'm gonna try and get that ink completely transferred. And if you guys are new here, if you need any sublimation blanks, I have a whole sublimation store on my website. You can find it in my profile. This press I'm using is also on my website. It's awesome. I've been using it for a couple times. I've gone live now. And you can do tumblers from 10 ounces to 30 plus ounces. I did a 40-ounce tumbler in it last week, and the press won't actually like close over the 40-ounce one, but you can I just like held it like this for the time, and it came out perfect. Oh, sorry, I'm slacking on messages here. I don't sell the designs. Most of these designs I actually purchased on Etsy. I do have some designs I've made. You can find them on my website as well. Sublimation, so awesome. So yeah, I want to get into designing more. I just haven't had time. But I like to be able to support other small businesses and designers, so I just buy their designs. Okay, so that looks a lot better. I'm gonna keep tearing the paper off, and it's perfect. So this is another one where I'm going to be glittering those red stripes. But you can see that red looks perfect. But yeah, so I'll be using Hyperion and Helios, which is the glue, to glitter these, and I'll post some videos about that. But I see a lot of tumbler makers using vinyl to do the design part, and I just know that I would not put that vinyl on very straight, so I think sublimation is a good cheap method. What printer do I print off? So I have two EcoTank printers. I have the 15,000, which is the wide format, and then I also have a It's a 2720. They don't make it anymore, but it's the same as the 2800. And I use both of them. And yeah, I do have a little bit of an overlap, but just a little bit. If you have too much, you'll have issues with your seams. My website is bettercallmallcreations.com, and it's linked in my bio. And if you guys are needing any sublimation blanks, I have a code TikTok10, all one word, and you can save 10% right now on any sublimation blank orders. I also have this press on my website. The TikTok10 won't work on the press, but it'll work on any blanks. And the press is free shipping all the time, so that's really cool. How do you sand without messing up the design? So just lightly sanding. You're not going to mess up the design. It is going to look a little bit scuffed up, but the Hyperion will fill in all those cracks and it'll look super smooth. Just ordered. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And so yeah, if you're ordering today, your order, I'll ship it out tomorrow. Okay. Alright, so let's test this one. And for the press, so I'm doing 370 degrees and I'm doing a tumbler for 90 seconds. I rotate every 30 seconds. Okay, so the bottom, again, oops, that's hot. I'm gonna stick the bottom of this one back in. It's still light. Like I said, the lighter designs, you're not gonna have this issue, but with the darker designs, you can see it's just a little bit lighter and you just have to stick the ends back in for a little bit and it'll get the rest of that ink to transfer over. The ones in the background, these are glitter tumblers that I make. I do both sublimation and glitter tumblers. And I use Hyperion for those ones. And then on some of these, like this one, I'm gonna use Hyperion on this one. I'm gonna glitter on those red spaces. And if you guys have any questions about Hyperion, I'll do lives making cups with Hyperion as well. I did one yesterday, and maybe I'll go on again tomorrow and do one to follow up on the cups I made the other day. But yeah, any other questions about Hyperion or sublimation, fire away. Okay, this design's kind of cool. I think it'll be fun for anyone that likes fishing. It looks like a fishing lure. The nice thing about this press too is it will never let you forget about it. Even when it's warming up, once it's to temperature, it will start beeping to let you know it's ready. So you don't have to worry about turning it on and forgetting. Okay, so this is the bottom rim. That one looks perfect to me. So we'll check out the top. And the top doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit light in this area right here. So I might put it in for 30 seconds or so, but otherwise it doesn't look too bad. Have I ever joined Subpaper? I'm not sure what that is. That's a group or something. I use a Subpaper for all my tumblers and for any sublimation. I've never tried anything else, but A-Sub has always worked really well for me, so just stuck with it. let's check this one out. And I'm gonna stick it back in one more time. Overheat the tumbler? Yes, you can. If you left it in there for too long, your indicators are gonna be that your tumbler is not gonna look glossy anymore. It's gonna look kind of like a textured and kind of dull. And then as far as colors go, your reds will probably turn orange, your blacks will turn orange. You'll know if you overheat it. And I have done it before. And those ones I'll just strip down and then I'll put, I'll glitter them instead. Okay, so this one now, I think that looks pretty good for the peak test. And yeah, the rest of the rim looks good. Let me rip off the rest. Oh, have I ever joined two pieces of sublimation paper? I have before. That was back when I really first started out. Okay, here's this one. So with this one, I'm thinking I'm gonna do gold glitter. So that's why I did yellow for the lines. But what do you guys think about this one? I think this is gonna be a fun one. And then I'll do the glitter on the bottom as well. Yeah, so I have tried doing like a 30-ounce tumbler with two pieces of sublimation paper before I got my bigger printer. And it is doable, but you are gonna have probably like you're gonna have two seams, and depending on how well you can hide them, will determine how noticeable they are. But yeah, it can be done. All right, so I think we just have a couple more to do, and then I'll probably hop off here. Well, we've already done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the 10th one that I've done already. Okay, so the last one I'm going to show you, then I'm going to wrap up. Oh, I have two more, I guess. This is a holographic shimmer tumbler. So this is the holographic shimmer. It's so pretty. I love this one. And depending on what design you put on, it will either accentuate it or it kind of will hide it. But I'm going to do a colorful rainbow one with it. And I still need to cut it. And if you guys need a good paper trimmer, this one I've had for a year now. I've never had to even change the blade, and it cuts super straight. I got it on Amazon as well. It's Fiskars. It's called like a rotary trimmer or something like that, paper trimmer, but it's awesome. And I even use this to I'll trim vinyl and stuff like that with it too. Okay, so this is the one I'm gonna do on the rainbow, the holographic shimmer one, so I think that'll be fun. Okay, so this one's done. Let's check it out. Okay, so this was that fishing lure one, and so that looks good to me so far. If you remember, the lighter the design, the easier the ink will transfer. So I'm just gonna keep peeking around, and that all looks good to me. All transferred perfectly. So we'll check the top. And that looks awesome. You can't even really see the seam right there. So we'll just check the rest real quick. Okay. What do you guys think about this one? And here's the seam right here. But this is a 20-ounce glossy tumbler. And again, all these blanks that I'm doing are on my website. You can find my link in my profile. Okay, before I do that one, I'm gonna do yeah, that one is, I love that one. That's the first time I've actually pressed that design. I bought it a long time ago, but I've never used it. And yeah, any of these tumblers, I'll recap them at the end, but if you guys want to buy any of these tumblers that I've made today, they're all 20 ounce, they're all stainless steel, and I'll do any of them for $15 plus shipping. So if there's one that you saw that you liked, either message me, I think through TikTok you can. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram and or Facebook, and you can message me there. But I'm kind of gearing up for a craft show, but if there's any that you guys saw me make that you like, I'm happy to sell them here as well. And you can also go to my website and message me there. I get messages from there as well. You show the link for the 2 Christmas ones. You will add glitter. So I don't have a link for any of these. I don't really sell the finished tumblers anymore. I'm just selling the blanks. But I'll show you guys all the cups that we made. I'm just gonna make 2 more real quick, and then we'll be done. And these wraps, so these are all 20-ounce tumblers, so I just printed all the wraps at 9.3 inches wide by 8.2 inches height, and that always seems to work. Sometimes it might be a little bit bigger, but it's usually not too small. You can always trim your paper down if you need to. Let's see. So technically, like, the actual tumblers are dishwasher safe. I don't recommend putting the sublimation tumblers in the dishwasher just because the heat of the dishwasher can fade the image over time, and it'll kind of lose its vibrancy. So I wouldn't recommend putting them in the dishwasher, but they are high quality stainless steel. You could, like, if you left your coffee with creamer or something in it, you could put bleach on the inside or whatever to kill any germs or mold or whatever, and just wash it really good by hand. You can soak them, you can do all that stuff with sublimation tumblers. I just don't personally recommend the dishwasher. Can I get them with handles? Yeah, I can get them with handles. I just, I don't personally like them because it's hard to get your design wrapped around them. But yeah, I can look at getting them in with handles. I just never, I guess I do have the coffee mugs with handles. Those are available on my site. Okay, we'll do this last one to wrap up. But yeah, thank you guys for everyone who's tuning in with me today. Okay, so actually here's a good example of one where this shimmer tumbler, it's a bit shorter than the rest of the tumblers. I don't like having all this overhang. That can cause issues with the transferring of the ink at the rim. So I'm gonna trim off some of this. That way it will transfer better. I'm just gonna take a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom. And this is why it's always good to just measure your tumblers. That way you can make sure you're printing out your dimensions correctly. Okay, so that should hopefully be okay. I'm gonna take a little bit more off. I think I'm missing some messages, sorry. There are silicone handles on Amazon. What are those? Are those ones like you just snap on the cup when it's done? Okay. Okay, so let's test this one out. Oh, where'd my hot pad go? Here it is. I get my Hyperion from Grateful Glitters. They're linked in my bio. They ship super fast too. If you order today, they'll ship it tomorrow. Let's see, what software do you use? I always print through Microsoft Publisher. That works the best for me. Plus, you can like line up tons of sheets in a row and just set it to print and walk away. So that's a perk of Microsoft Publisher that I like. But I've never had an issue printing with Publisher. It always prints the right dimensions. For the press, I'm doing 370 degrees, and I do 90 seconds, and I rotate every 30 seconds. And then if I need to, I'll stick the ends back in and repress the ends. Darker designs, the ink just takes longer to transfer, and so a lot of times you just have to repress your ends. And with a press, the middle of the press is always the hottest part, so the ends are not quite as hot as the middle, which is why people will have issues with their ends not pressing perfectly. But this was a lighter design. Like I said, the ink transfer is easier, so this one didn't need to go back in. That looks nice and clean to me. And let's see, sorry. I don't sell prints. I know a lot of people on Etsy will sell prints though. I sell blanks mostly, and I just don't have time to sell prints anymore. Okay. And that one looks good too. I've tried using different epoxies. I haven't used epoxy for almost 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I've been using water-based top coats, so I use Hyperion. I love it. It's super easy to use. You can recoat your tumblers every 2 hours. These ones have been spinning back here. They're already dry. I can recoat them already, which I will after I probably hop off this live. This is the white glitter tumbler. You can see it's still the white glitter on the bottom, but what do you guys think about this one? I love, love, love the Christmas designs with the white glitter tumblers. And I get my Hyperion from Grateful Glitters. There's a link in my bio to their website. I also get all my glitter from there too. They have awesome glitter. Okay, so we'll do one more sublimation tumbler, and then I'll show you guys everything that we've made just since we've been on this live. So this will be the last one. It's the unicorn with the rainbow holographic shimmer tumbler. And I did trim the design down. Now you can see it's nice and flush where the cup curves at the bottom. And that's always kind of my goal, is to get it flush before it starts curving, or just right at the curve. Okay, come on, get on there straight. Okay, and with the press, just 5 pieces of tape, all you need to get the paper on tight, and then the press is going to create the rest of the pressure for you. You just need to make sure with the tape that you don't have any air pockets or anything underneath of your paper. It needs to be perfectly flush with the tumbler for it to transfer correctly. And with the shimmer tumblers, they don't take as much heat or time as the rest of the tumblers. So I'm actually going to turn the heat down to 350. It was at 370. And then I'm going to turn the time down to 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds. And I'll still rotate it 3 times. But if you're just tuning in, or just to recap, I sell all these sublimation blank tumblers on my website. I sell this press on my website. You can find it in my profile. There's a link to Grateful Glitters, where you can also buy a lot of my blanks, as well as Hyperion if you're interested in buying Hyperion. It's an epoxy-free alternative. All right. Okay, so this will be the last one. And then with sublimation tumblers, you don't have to do anything to them after they're done. They're just ready to go. You don't have to seal them. I don't seal them unless I'm adding glitter to them. But what's nice about sublimation too is you can do a lot of custom stuff. You can easily add somebody's name onto a design before you print it. And makes good Christmas gifts. What to use when you add the glitter. So what I do is I'll sand the tumbler lightly first, and then I use this glue. It's called Helios II Crafters glue. And it's also made by Wilson & Brown, who makes Hyperion. So I'll glitter with that, and then I'll coat it with Hyperion until it's smooth. And then it's ready to go. So I can show you this one I made with Hyperion. I applied the glitter with Helios. This was not a sublimation tumbler though. This was just a tumbler that I painted and glittered. But just to show you how pretty and shiny Hyperion is. And if you use epoxy, it's actually much more durable than epoxy. If you were to drop it, it's not going to shatter and crack like epoxy would. It's got a little bit more flexibility to it. All right, so let's peek at this one. Thanks, Annie. Okay. Ooh, I love this one already. You can see the shimmer going on. It's a little bit light in one spot, so I'm just gonna see if that, I'm just gonna press it for a little bit more at the top. Remember, this one I turned the time and temp down because these ones can burn faster, but I just wanna get that one spot. Let's see if I can't get that ink to fully transfer. I'm looking for a tumbler press like that. So yeah, for this press, you can do anything from sippy cups, you can do coffee mugs, you can do 20 ounce, 30 ounce tumblers. I did a 40 ounce tumbler last week, which the press didn't fully like close around it. I just kind of had to hold the pressure on it for the 30-second time, but it came out perfect. So I would say you could do 40 ounce tumblers as well. And yeah, when I do darker colors, I don't leave the whole tumbler in because the middle could burn, but I just will stick the ends back in. And that's just usually where they need more time and temp, is just at the ends. But so here's a peek at the top. That looks good to me. And sorry, what was the other question? All these tumblers are available on my website. You can find the link in my bio. If you are on my website shopping, you can use the code TikTok10, all one word, and you can save 10% on any sublimation blanks right now. Okay, so we'll check the bottom. And that all looks good. How many tumblers can you print with your printer? A ton. I have a lot of ink that I thought I'd need, and a little bit goes a long way. And I use the Eco Tank printers, and I use Printer's Jack ink. Okay. I'll turn this off. Okay, so here's the rainbow shimmer one with the unicorn. What do you guys think about that one? I know if my sister's watching, she'd probably snatch this one right out from my hands. But yeah, these rainbow holographic shimmer ones are awesome. I love these ones, especially with, I think like the lighter and more colorful designs, it shows through even better. If you're gonna put any black on these tumblers, it's not gonna show through the black. It'll only show through the parts that are colored. Okay, so that's it for pressing them, but we'll do a recap real quick of everything that I've made. I'm not sure when I started this live. I think I've been on for like, I don't know, an hour or so. But you can see how many tumblers you can make in that short of time. And again, these are all, they're ready to go. They're sublimation. You don't have to do anything else to them once they're cooled off. All these tumblers are from my website, bettercallmallcreations.com. I have a link in my bio. That one is still hot. And then some of these I am going to coat with Hyperion. And the only reason is because I'm going to add glitter to them. And yes, the press is on my website as well. You can find it under machines. Actually, it's still in the new releases tab because I just started selling them maybe a month or two ago. So many cool things. Yes. Okay, I don't know where all the lids are for these. Okay. All right, so we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We did 12 tumblers just in this live since we've been here. So we'll just recap. So this one I'm going to be adding glitter to. So stay tuned for that. I'll make some TikTok videos with these. So that one, and then this one I'm gonna add red glitter to those bands. All these cups are from my website, bettercallmallcreations.com. The link is in my profile. This press can do 30+ ounces, and you can also even do like the 10-ounce sippy cups. So it has a pretty wide range. You can do almost everything in it. Also, the glass tumblers, someday I'm going to put glitter in this one, but this is the snow globe glass tumbler, and I made this in my press as well. It's sublimation, that's not vinyl, and then these have a hole in the bottom to add your glitter and the solution. So sometime I'm going to go live and make some snow globes for you guys, but I have a ton of those on my website right now, and the snow globes are super fun with glitter. Okay, so yeah, and if you guys are interested in any of these cups I've made today, $15, just let me know if you want one. Otherwise, I don't really sell finished tumblers. I sell mostly the sublimation blanks. And yes, I'm in the States. I'm in Mesa, Arizona. I can ship to Canada. Just message me through my website, and we can work out the shipping. But all these ones I just made while I was live here for probably the last hour and 15-20 minutes. This one again, this one's fun. This is the silver glitter tumbler with the pink Christmas design, which if my husband would let me, I'd probably get a pink Christmas tree this year. I'm all about pink Christmas. You want the unicorn one? Yeah, so just message me if you can through TikTok. Message me if you want one of these. Otherwise, you can find me on Instagram for my same name, Better Call Mall Creations. And just let me know and I can ship them to you. This was the rainbow holographic one with the unicorn design. I love this one. I don't do custom ones anymore. I sell pretty much just the sublimation blanks. I just came on here to show you guys what this press can do and how these blanks look when you do designs on them. This was the white glitter sublimation blank. And this one, I don't know, I just saw the design. I thought that looked kind of fun. It looks like glitter. I might glitter over top of it too, just to be extra. Hey Kevin, is it possible to make them matte? Yes, I actually did a matte one, this one. This guitar one is on a matte sublimation tumbler, so it's not glossy. And you just buy a matte like that, and then all you do is press your design on. And if you get any of the glow-in-the-dark sublimation tumblers I have, those are all matte as well. And then here's the last one. It says Mom Life with sunflowers and leopard print. So yeah, if you guys want to purchase any of these that I just made, they're all $15. First come, first serve. Just message me either here on Instagram or on my website. And yeah, before I hop off, do you have any other questions at all? How do you do white glitter sublimation? So the white glitter is actually, it's the tumbler. The tumbler, you buy it with the glitter designed to it, and then all you have to do is add your print. So it does have a little bit of a texture, if you can see, but that's, you know, that's how it gets that glittery effect. But these ones are super pretty, and I think they've been super popular for Christmas designs already. But if you guys have any questions, you can always send me a message, comment on my TikToks, come to me through Instagram, my website, links in the bio. I'm here to help you guys do sublimation. I sell all these blanks. I test them all before I ever list them, and you can ask me any questions at all about it. But do you guys have any other questions before I hop off of here? Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. And I might get on live again tomorrow and work on more Hyperion cups. These ones that, if you've seen them spinning in the background, these are the ones that I've glittered and I coat with Hyperion. It's an epoxy-free alternative. And I get my Hyperion from Grateful Glitters. And this is what it looks like. But it's super easy to use. You just pour it right out of the bottle. You don't have to mix anything like epoxy. You don't have to babysit it. You can recoat your tumblers every 2 hours. And the white stays super white with the glitter. And also, like, your reds and stuff, they don't change colors either. So I totally recommend Hyperion if you're looking to make coated tumblers. My press is available on my website. I'm not sure what the Elite is, but this press that I used for this live is the same one I have on my website. It does 30 ounce, up to 30 ounce, but I did a 40 ounce in it last week and it came out great. For the heat, I press mine at 370 for 90 seconds, and I turn every 30 seconds. And then I'll repress the ends as needed. All these blank tumblers are from my website, bettercalmallcreations.com, and the link's in my profile. And if you're looking to buy blanks, you can use code TikTok10, all one word, and save 10% off any sublimation blank orders. Anything that you order today, I'll ship it out tomorrow. Do you guys have any other questions at all? Okay. Well, again, if you guys need anything, if you have any questions, just message me here on Instagram, Facebook, through my website, and I'll be doing probably some more Hyperion cups tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.